In this video, we're going to talk about what are referred to as multiplier models. Sometimes they refer to them as comparables. But there are three basic models. There are actually many more models you could use, but these are three fairly popular models that try to relate some aspect of operations to price. How can we do that? So let's look at the first model we look at, which is the PE multiplier model. Well, the basic formula for value listed here is it's the PE ratio multiplied by earnings per share. Now, in this case, these are all forecasts. These are forecasts maybe 1 year out. So we're trying to establish what is the future value 1 year from now for this stock. So the first thing we can do is we can estimate earnings per share. We can calculate that ourselves. We've had several videos where we've calculated historical earnings per share and extrapolated that forward. We could also look this up in some publications maybe. So let's say that in this case, earnings per share is estimated to be in $3.98 at the end of the year. Now, what do we do about the PE ratio? Well, there's two ways we can look at this. One way is to use the industry average. Now, this won't give us a very good picture of our individual company's value, right? So it's going to look at, again, obviously a different number, if you will. So I typically like to look at what is the predicted, or what do I think the future PE ratio will be for the company. And if you're looking this up in publications, you're looking for the word forward. What's the forward PE ratio? So let's say it's 12.41. So this reflects and says this company would have a stock value currently, at the end of the year of around $49. So if you know what the price is today, you know whether you're predicting an increase in capital gains or a decrease in capital gains. Another ratio we can look at, or model here, is what's referred to as the EBITDA enterprise value multiplier. So we need to look up some numbers, right? What is the enterprise value multiplier? Again, we can look this up, right? It's published in lots of different places. So let's say for our company, it's 17.4. So this is just a measure of our EBITDA relative to value that we see. The current EBITDA for the company, let's say it's $765,000. Or $765, I'm sorry. $765. Let's say we have $4,650 in debt. We have $511 in cash. And our company has 182.61 numbers of shares. Now, this is all coming from an actual company. So in this case, we see that let me get rid of some of these decimals here, that this is saying under the EBITDA value model, the enterprise valuation multiplier model, they're saying the stock is worth roughly $44.63. This looks at enterprise value per share. Again, just another model that helps us. What other model could we use? Well, let's think about prices, right? The sales of the company. There is a ratio that you can gather information, it's published data, that's called the price to sales ratio. So for our company, again, this is a real company. I'm using this data for a real company. We're told it's roughly 2.41. Now the sales, we have to estimate sales. What do we think sales are going to be in this next year? $4,310. How many shares do we have? We have 182.61 shares. Whoops, 182.61. Type it right. Right? We had that number down below. So this tells us the estimated sales per share. We estimate that next year to be roughly $23.60 of sales for every share. The stock value then, we multiply the price per share times the shares per share, sales per share. That will give us then the stock value. In this case, it's telling us that it thinks the stock value is around $56.88. Again, we can change some of these numbers, if you will, to reflect less decimal points, right? You just want a couple less decimals. So anyhow, so we have three models. They're all here to help us understand relationships between variables and prices. So if we expect sales to increase, right? We've been predicting 4310, but we think, you know what? Something really good happened this year, and we think we're going to increase sales. What happens if sales increase? All of these are variables, obviously, that have impact on price. Of course, it's the management's job to manage these variables to ultimately maximize share value. Look forward to talking to you soon. Bye-bye.